welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports? We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Yes. You heard me. Some of you, that will completely go over your head. Completely. However, before we came on the show, UCLA pitcher Thatcher Herd has entered the transfer portal. We will get to that. Oh, believe you me, we will get to that. Is the portal king at it again? Jay Johnson, you stud. Jay Johnson, you stud. Wish some people would calm down about Brian Kelly, though. Wish some people would calm down about doom and gloom. Sometimes people don't realize things that they just don't know or want to know because you get so far deep into a narrative or a thought or a process that you quite simply can't come back from. So a big show in store for tonight. We will start off with the Ruffino's rants. It can be calm, cool, collected. I am not targeting this and what I'm going to say about anyone other than one person who targeted us on Twitter today. Other than that, I'm going to tell you some things that I have been given approval to say. If you like and love and adore LSU football, you're going to want to stick around. This is for you. You're going to want to hear it. And we'll do that. How the draft will affect LSU baseball. Jay Johnson, you stud. Print the shirts. Print the shirts. Portal King. Jay Johnson's like the Liu Kang of the transfer portal. Put it on a shirt. Yes, indeed. Oh, the return of Mike Jones Jr. Mike Jones joins us at 7:30. I'm not good at math. I don't know what the time is. 24 minutes from right now. Mike Jones Jr., LSU starting middle linebacker, joins us as he normally does. And then we wrap it up the end of the show and during the entire show, hashtag Ask Blake. So if you have a question, you have a thought, you have a concern, fire them inside the Rudy Crew chat, and we will get to them, as many of them as we can. Okay, let's get to a couple comments, though, before we get started. D. Payne on YouTube says, set the record straight for these goofy-ass dudes in the LSU fan base, big dog. We coming. Like Ed Orgeron in 19, we coming. Pause. Jordan on YouTube says, we sold the health of our state to the oil industry and didn't get the money to buy players like Texas? ? No. As what's her name said, Catwoman said in The Dark Knight Rises. Let me take the comment off before I say this. There's a storm coming. There is a storm coming. We'll get to that. Brian Kelly, or Crying Belly, says, oh my God, what are we going to do? We can't recruit. Meanwhile, BK takes LSU from 48 to 6th overall within 5 months. L. Jesus says, rant. Aunt Marshall says, you heard me. I hear you. I hear you. Del Broussard says Thatcher Herd. That indeed. Tigers Avenue Plodcast says, Blake, some LSU fans need to change their diaper. Well, they're going to change their diaper after all the yelling I'm about to do. Chris on YouTube says, we may need to issue Gramco to our fan base during recruiting periods. Agreed. And C. King says, let me close my shutters. A storm is coming. I promise you, an effing storm is coming. You better strap in and get ready for it because it's here. All right. Let's do this. Oh, Big Jake Cole says, I've been bookmarking the hot LSU takes on Twitter today. Man, I ain't getting in any of that. Although, I didn't know it could do this. I didn't know my microphone could come up. But yeah. Jason says, Jordy, no. Not going to waste my breath. Roderick says, Blake, they in full panic mode, big dog, over this recruiting. We're about to set it straight. We need to set it straight. Mario Collada says you need to get Jay on the show. Yes, we do. I'll get with Jay. He said he's recruiting right now. Leave him alone. All right, coach. We'll leave you alone. All right. Let's do this. Everybody do us a favor and hit the like and share. So many of you are listening and watching us on Facebook. Like, share to your social media pages, share to all the LSU Facebook groups. We greatly appreciate it. Guys, it helps us so much when you do that. Hit the like button, hit the share it everywhere. If you're listening to us on YouTube, do us a favor by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Ping! We greatly appreciate it as well. If you're listening to us on XM Radio or you're listening to us on the audio podcast version, rate, review, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, Zach, let's pay these bills around this thing. Ruffino's Rants in a minute 30. Our partners over at BetOnline continue to be the number one source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas, casino, and poker games. It's easy to get started, so head on over to their website. Use betonline.ag. Use that promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. That's BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varnado & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varnado & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. All right, Jawan Hearns, who was big in the comments last night. Let's start off here. I think this is a great place to start it off. But before we do that, let's get this thing started, y'all. Everybody, and I mean everybody who is an LSU fan, hit that like, hit that share. Right me out. Right now. Jawan Hearns says, all I see is Louisiana 4 and 5 stars coming off the board, and none are committed to LSU. I checking the forecast and don't see any storm in sight. Okay. Let's do this. I have it on pretty good authority. Let me rephrase that, because what most of you or some of you are going to do is run this back. And that's fine. That's fine. Let me say this. And I will tie, for the first time, maybe ever, I'm going to tie LSU football and baseball together. The reason I am going to tie LSU football and baseball together is due to the simple fact, guys, Jay Johnson's killing it in the portal. Killing it. Destroying the transfer portal. He's not done. We'll get to Thatcher Herd going into the portal in just a minute. But how do you think that this is happening? How do you think that you're getting Tommy White? How do you think you are going to get a guy like Thatcher Herd? How do you think you got a guy in Carter Young? By the way, late last night, Vanderbilt shortstop Carter Young committed to LSU. How do you think all of this is happening? Do you think that Jay Johnson one night, sitting in his bedroom bed, was staring at the window on his hands and knees? Pause. And he saw a shooting star. And he said, and I'm quoting, "Oh, dear God, please let me have success in the transfer portal." Maybe he did. Or the LSU fan base and boosters got pissed off. And the more and more you continue, good for you, because the only thing that you will do, like you did in women's basketball, like you did for LSU baseball, and what I promise you, you are doing around LSU football ops, as things were already in motion. Congratulations, you're getting it there, even though you didn't have to. So good for you. You're accomplishing something. Maybe that's your goal. But let me tell you what the truth is. What the actual truth is. Guys, we've seen individuals commit to other schools, even in the age of name, image, and likeness. And when it comes down to signing day, Brian Kelly flips a recruit like Harold Perkins. In 2018, you're able to flip John Emery. There is a laundry list of players that, whether before or after the season or even during that son of a bitch, that you're able to flip. Do you really believe that LSU and their boosters are not going to play the game? Are you that naive or stupid? Now, to Paul Batts, the guy on Twitter today, a Texas alum who, quite honestly, showed zero class, probably because he has none. If you want to call people out and have a civil conversation, that is fine. I expect, here comes your breaking, sourcing, all that bullshit. I expect LSU in the class of 23 and 24 to get probably at minimum 5 new recruits. Some of them you're going to love. Some of them you're really going to love. Some of them inside the state. At least that's what I'm hearing that's trending. One call, that's all, Mars Bart says. As your boy Leo said on Wolf of Wall Street, pick up the phone and start dialing. If you have an issue with it and you run a business, pick up the phone and start dialing. Be about it. Don't act about it. Don't use someone else's money to form and plan something and then go out there and bitch and moan and complain about something that's not true when you can pick up the phone and find out what's going on. Now, this isn't any normal fan can do this. That's who I'm talking about. You can call Taylor Jacobs. If you own a business, an LLC, you can come up with an NIL deal. Do what you must. But don't sit back and let better men do your bidding. One call, that's all. You can go around Twitter. You can go around what's going on. You can listen to recruiting insiders who put their crystal balls in for X recruit or Y recruit or Z recruit. I get that Derek Williams committing to Texas is a big blow right now. I understand it. I also understand that there's a chance that the kid is going to have a lot of pressure from other schools because he hasn't signed on that dotted line. If you don't think that LSU is going to just, oh no, Derek Williams committed to Texas. Oh no. We have to start rethinking about how we do things in recruiting and how we look at recruiting. Guys, there is no scholarship limit anymore. You got to get to the 85. Hell, you could sign 35 kids. It doesn't matter. You had and the problem that I have, it's June. It's June. Historically, teams that go 5-5 and 6-6 in back-to-back years historically don't have really good recruiting classes. Well, Blake, what about Texas? They've always been in the top 10 in recruiting and have done nothing. Texas has always had money and paid guys underneath the table. What's up, Vince Young? What's up? I remember Texas flipping a safety some years ago that couldn't catch Justin Jefferson, a 2-star, running down the sidelines with Joe Burrow on 3rd and 19. Him, that bitch in between double coverage, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire picking up a blitz. Oh my God, Texas is back. Christ almighty. You go on Twitter. Oh my God. Shut up. Shut up. If you have the ability to have an opinion, but when you start acting classless, it's too easy sometimes to say it's all about the money. It's too easy. Way too easy. And now today, you got people in Jane Rashada's camp saying that they didn't get paid a red penny to go and while they were in Miami. Blake, I don't believe that for a second. It doesn't matter what you believe. Can you prove it? I don't care that this player, I don't care that that player is trending wherever. I really don't. So long way to go. And quite honestly, in September, when LSU starts clapping the cheeks of Florida State, it's not going to matter then either. It's going to be hunky-dory. LSU is back. You win football games. Let me say this. You win football games from the inside out. and fantastic quarterback play. Let me say that again for everybody who doesn't understand what I'm saying. You win football games from center offensively to out and exceptional quarterback play. On defense, you win from the inside out. Shelton Sampson hasn't committed. Preen hasn't committed. Jaylen Brown hasn't committed. Galloway hasn't committed. I think he's 24. But it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that when you flip Harold Perkins, a top 5 recruit in the country, the only thing that we talk about, the absolute only thing that we talk about is Jacoby Matthews. I'm not going to get into what I know, and some of you who have watched this show know that we came on here day after day after day in Twitter Spaces, day after day after day, took a lot of criticism and saying that Jacoby Matthews was going to A&M. Newsflash, do you really think LSU didn't offer anything for that kid to be at LSU? There was a situation that was out of his control, and I guarantee you that kid wanted to be in Baton Rouge. Had nothing to do with money. You got people and players at A&M decommitting and going into the portal because guess what? Sometimes when you say it's all about the money's not coming to some of these players. Why does a four-star defensive lineman that's highly recruited got offers from LSU, Bama, et cetera, Georgia, et cetera, whoever it may be? Why do you believe that he's decommitting? Thought they had all the money in the world. Why in the hell would you decommit from A&M? Why would you do it? On to baseball. Here is some very good news for you, LSU fans, allegedly. Thatcher Herd just went in the portal before we came on the show. I feel confident. I really do feel confident that young man's coming here. And Jawan Hearn says, can we be objective for a minute? Can you? Because what you can't do, what you cannot do, Jawan, is explain to me why it's happening in women's basketball, men's basketball, LSU baseball, but not football. Brian Kelly told you that they had a plan. He sat down in an interview and told you when some things come up, a.k.a. when John Bel Edwards, the governor of this great state, signs the new name, image, and likeness bill into law, things are going to change. The man has a plan, and you barking at him and this staff right now in June, you better be careful. What's going to happen if Texas goes 7-5? What's going to happen? I'm old enough to remember when Walker Howard, Will Campbell, Darren NIL, Harold Perkins, and others, Seven Banks, Mekhi Gardner, Greg Brooks, and others came to LSU, and you're worried about what's happening elsewhere. The good book says worry about your dang self. 2 minutes, we got Mike Jones Jr. Who? Eric Wright says, I don't understand this narrative that LSU is behind an NIL deal. Like Woodward wasn't trying to iron out Title IX situation. Edwardo says, Blake, so how many LA kids have you already committed to other schools? Do you think BK and the staff will flip? I think they're going to flip a couple. Jordan Hubbard says, Blake got me ready to drop a bag. Well, drop the bag. Drop a bag. You got it? Give it. As Young Jeezy said, it ain't tricking if you got it. And then Gorilla Zoe came right behind him and said, it ain't tricking if you got it. I know I got it. Bing James says, Jay Johnson about to be praying for his job. No, he's not. No, he's not. I promise you, things are happening. You don't do what you're doing in other places and other spots if you're behind. You can believe all you want to. But just because you believe in it really hard. Guys, I believe that I got a six-pack. Zach, I believe I got a six-pack. I am the finest man on planet Earth. That's what I believe. I believe I got more money than Elon Musk. I believe that I have the most beautiful house, which I kind of do, though, honestly. My house is pretty badass. My studio's badass. But Jay Johnson's still killing it. Blaine Smith says Mike Jones gonna be great as always. Don't tell him something that he already knows. Chris English says, who? Man, I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my bones. Is he here? Zach, is Mike Jones in the building? Okay, he's in the building. Last one, Wade says relationships have been built and have to be built. This is a whole new staff. That's all. We're going to be fine. I agree. All right. He's been gone for 2 weeks. I heard from a little birdie that Greg Penn waxed that butt in Madden on live television, on live cable television, and Mike couldn't come back. Come back, Mike. All right. Just playing. He's going to get mad. This is me just trying to be funny. Probably horrible. I'm probably doing a horrible job of it. Let's talk about our good friends over there, Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Guys, we'll be back in a minute with your starting linebacker, Mike Jones Jr. By the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vignair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by. Ladies and gentlemen, he is finally back. The man with the master plan, Mike Jones Jr. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Feeling
okay,
good.
So, is it true? Are the rumors on Twitter true that the reason that you hadn't been here in a week was because Greg Penn smacked you in Madden? Yes or no?
Those were the reasons, but unfortunately, did take a loss. Like all great franchises, you know, we sometimes we don't win them all.
You're the Tom Brady of Madden.
And he's Eli Manning.
Bro, first off, Eli, people rag on Eli, but man, those 2 throws in the Super Bowl were unreal.
Facts.
What do you do, Mike? What do you do? Like,
I was telling somebody this the other day. I learned when I got to college, going up with Trevor in practice and some of the other guys, there are times where there's just nothing you can do. A quarterback can put up the ball in a place where there's just nothing you can do. You can cover as great as you want, have perfect coverage. And if you're not big enough to cover him, like if it's a tight end and he's huge and he just literally throws it away from you to where only his guy can get it, sometimes it's just a part of the game.
Cover him, 1-9. Cover him. Coach, I am. I'm doing everything. I tackled him. I drop kicked him at the line of scrimmage. He still got up and scored. I really just don't know what to do right now. Mike Jones Jr. is our guest. Mike, listen, summer, it's hot. And we're out here. Y'all are working out. I was up at Football Ups a couple days ago. Guys getting it in, man. Guys are completely getting it in. Just give us a recap. What's been going on? How are you doing? How's your process going so far this summer since the last time we talked to you?
Yeah, man, it's been great. Like one of the things I really was like thinking about, I didn't want to overwork myself, but you want to be super productive, during the summer. I want to come into camp healthy, also in great shape, locked in mentally. And, at least for myself, I can say like I'm, very much on the way achieving all those goals, feeling good, mentally, I'm spending a lot of time at Coach House, spending a lot of time in the playbook, spending a lot of time with the fellas, we do some player-led practices on our own and, doing a good job communicating and just, handling my job, getting my job done. It's been a good summer, man. And, we got another month to knock it out and get ready to go.
So, Mike, like you said, another month, buddy, we're 30 days away. Actually, technically, with the new NCAA ruling, there are some things you could do with coaches during the summer now, and I think that goes into effect next week. So,
trust me, I've heard about this rule.
Well, I'm just telling you, prepare yourself, dog. That's when you know that you've been like me, 5th-year senior, like you. Okay, you've been in college too long when they're changing the rules, right?
Man, I'm like, y'all can't. I heard. I was like, y'all can't do this to me.
Right. When long story short, targeting was a big thing when I was in college. Okay, it was the biggest thing. Targeting was the new rule. Everything was enforced, and all the defensive guys, all you guys, okay, on the defensive side of the ball, went full Denzel and training day. You think you can do this to me? Like some of y'all will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I'm finished with you. But it's always changing, man. And it's crazy because not only, Mike, do the coaches have to be prepared for all this stuff, but, man, y'all do too.
Facts. Absolutely.
Insanity. So you talked about Coach Matt. You talked about, though, going out on the field, practicing and player-led practices.
Yeah.
Just take us through that. Don't give us what you're running, what you're calling, what you're doing. But what are those like? Like, do you send a text out at 7 a.m. like, be out there at 3, who Mike Jones? Like, how does that happen?
No one would show up if I said it like that. But I think that's how everybody would expect me to say it.
That's how I envision you saying it. Like, Mike Jones out. Be there at 3. Big eye emojis. Are you a big eye emoji guy?
At certain times, a lot of times I just use the laughing emoji because I be laughing a lot. But if I got to get serious or if there's something I need to point out, you give them the eyes up.
Yeah. Hey, Greg Penn ate another piece of cake this week. Coach, hey, do you be because? So listen, we're gonna get to that in just a second. But so how's that? Take us through that though, very quickly.
It's been good. Like we have some times that guys have gotten together. We're like, these days, this time and this time, we'll get together and do stuff. And it's been good. We go through our indie. The backers were together, go through our indie, and then we'll go through. We'll get together as a defense and line up against calls, make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? and then we go into, we get into like more offense versus defense stuff. So we have like we get a rotation going. We got a list of calls, and then we run these calls against the offense. We run 7-on-7. Do a couple of different racks to that. Then we get into team stuff, a couple racks of team. Getting called, making the adjustments. Doing everything like we'd be practicing just without the coaches. Because so like when it's time to get going, we're ready. You know what I'm saying? We're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be like we're starting over like how it is in spring when you just start. No, we're trying to come into fall camp prepared. Prepared to make the strides that we need to get ready to go have a great year. And so that's been smooth, man. But it's been pretty calm, man. We just line things up, communicate what we're gonna do. We get with the offensive side of the offensive guys, and we get it done.
So, Mike, let me ask you: do you go through something every week? Is there something new that you're trying to install with your guys on defense, like a different communication or different hand gestures, whatever it may be? Are you all working on that, like something new every week, or are you trying to get everything, the base stuff, just loaded and ready to hunt it down? Or is it something new every week? Because, Coach House is new and a new DC, and I'm sure there's a lot that needs to be installed still.
Yeah. So this is actually the first week that we're starting over, so we do like this. I think we just finished our 4th week of install. We got a list of calls that we study on our own throughout the week. We get together and we get it done. But this week, we're trying to go through it, like, I think 3 times throughout the summer, the first 4 installs. And it's a good little bit of calls, it's enough to have a fun practice and, really get into things, and so just making sure we got those down, because those are all the basics, plus a little bit more than just the basics,
Right.
Just being really detailed and, being able to go out there and say, okay, when we get to fall camp, we should be able to execute first 4 days of install, just like that, and so
right.
Other things more. So it's like up until this point, we've been adding more and more in this week, but this is the first week that we're starting over from, the first week.
How is your SWAT team doing?
We so close. Okay. We're so close. And my team, we got the guys, we might not get all the little point, not little points, they're all important. But like me, I know we got, I like the backers on my team. We got West Weeks, Michael Baskerville, my boy Matt. So we're gonna always get them weight room points. Always. We got Jacoby and Guillory. We're gonna run the weight room points up. And so that always keeps us. We haven't won yet. We finish top 3 every time, I believe. Every time.
Hey. Okay. Mike Jones Jr. coming for number 1. Does Jacoby and Guillory go up and get a piece of cake and you just sprint over there and slap it out of his hand? Jacobian! Like that's, I know you. I envision this.
I would be afraid to do that. One of the strongest human beings I've ever met in my life.
Hey, man, that kid was squatting 650 pounds in high school?
He tells me it every time we squat. It's like I've heard him tell me that multiple times. Like, we get it, dude. You're strong. We see the weight on the rack right there. We know you're strong.
You're like, I would say something like, dude, pause, but your thighs are bigger than the equator, dog. Like, chill out, son. You could calm down.
Get it, bro. We get it.
Right. So your SWAT team's doing good. Who's leading at the current moment? Who's got the best team so far?
Makai Wingo, his team, they've been pretty consistent. They've been winning like most weeks. And somebody, I think it might have been Makai Gardner's team won this week, but Wingo won like 2-3 weeks in a row. And, I'm just happy somebody took him down, because if you win, you get to wear a yellow shirt. And Ali has been talking trash every day to me about the yellow shirt, about their team being all great. So now they're back on the playing field. It's getting.
You gotta represent for AYS, buddy. Come on. Come on.
I know. If it was only weight room points, we at least top 2, if not winning every week.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So that's so great to hear. I mean, a lot of the offseason stuff, it doesn't make – now, listen, we didn't have this, obviously, because it was like, do your bench, do your squats, do your cleans. But does this make going to workouts a little bit more fun, though, in a sense? Like, you're constantly competing. Does it make it much better and like you want to be there in a sense?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I just feel like it's like played so much into just like the building of the team. Like now I don't even think about it as much as like, playing in the, the workouts. It's just like, we wake up early in the morning to go live. I'm happy out there to be with the guys. Like it's going to be fun. Like this live, it might not be the funnest thing. It's going to be hard. We're going to push ourselves, but it's just fun because I get to be with the guys. We talk around, we joke, we get after it. And that's one thing I learned too, man. Like the bond you create when everybody's going through adversity. That's why I'm like, this is really your brothers. This is the brotherhood right here. We're gonna fight for the brotherhood. We went through 2 months together. And so I kind of like I really enjoy these moments. I always have, and I feel like the team chemistry, especially on the defense, man. Like I got mad love for all those guys, like, and it's really exciting. I'm excited to play.
Are you a morning workout guy or evening workout guy?
I got to get it done with. I refuse. I get scared if I come in there and see like guys passed out on the ground.
You start getting scared.
I'll be sick the whole rest of the time leading up to the workout.
Hey, there's two kinds of people, Mike. The doers in the beginning and the don'ters. Okay, the doers and the don'ters. I was a don'ter. Don't you wake my fat ass up at 6:30. I will squat until kingdom come at 4:00. Do not wake me up at 6:30.
Man, it's the hottest time of the day in the evening.
But Mike, I gotta lose weight though, Big Daddy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I be drinking a whole gallon of water. Bro, listen to this. So they told me my freshman year to come in at 315. I'm like, this coach is the heaviest I've ever been. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I looked bad. Week 1, Mississippi State, 281.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yes. All that water weight, man. All that water weight comes off.
Wow.
I'm telling you. I think 20 pounds, like it was a big shift, Mike. Big shift.
Wow.
All right, we got a couple questions for you. Lamar Williams, aka Precious, says, #Ask Mike, what is his process of choosing his in-game day cleats? Swag has got to be on point.
Man, some days you just feel different, So, like, I have a pair of purple ones, and they weren't too happy about me wearing them. I got to do to paint them, but they will be back out here this year. Okay. Don't tell equipment staff.
But you just feel G-string, don't listen. G-string, don't listen to
no. Stay away from that G-string.
we're the ladies out there, we're talking about Greg Stringfellow. We're not talking about actual
on the staff. It's a dude on the staff.
Right. Yeah, we gotta be careful, with that one. Blaine Smith says, #Ask Mike, what is your impression so far of the big dude, Quincy Wiggins?
True freak of nature. I literally, every time I see him, I literally tell him, Quincy, you're a freak of nature. He's on my he's on my, he's on my SWAT team too. And so it's literally some days like we'll be warming up with our SWAT team, and like so we'll warm up in our line, and then we'll warm up, come back down to this line. And like 8 times out of the 10 different times I'll tell him, Quincy, you freak of nature.
You shouldn't be that big and chiseled and run that fast.
No, bro. It honestly doesn't make sense. I feel bad for the guys who had to play high school ball against him last year.
Dude, he was insane. I mean, look, him and Will Campbell went up against one another, and it was must-see TV. But they went together. They went up against each other at LSU football. It was must-see.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, wow. I was like, bro. And then you dudes on the defense, Neil Farrell included, started getting on Will Campbell, and Will kind of pushed O'Neal. And I'm like, that's when I knew. And then Jaquelin Roy, what you gonna do? And bro, my boy was standing there. Bro, y'all gotta be some of left tackle now.
I'm not gonna lie, man. He's earned my respect. That's all I gotta say. He's earned my respect really quick, and I know he is not one to play with. Man,
I mean, it's crazy. The kid can't even grow a mustache at the current moment. You know what I mean? All right, last one, Mike, and then we'll get you on out of here. LG says, #Ask Mike, how's Harold Perkins coming since getting here?
Man, it's like I'm watching him grow up like so much, so quick, man. it's hard to like, well, not hard, I guess, but I know I didn't have the, really the want to go get so mentally, invested in football at this point. Like whenever I first came into college, I just thought I was going to be athletic, I could play. And that had me on the sidelines watching, but this dude's up there, man. Sometimes I'll be up there with Coach House, and usually like it'd be me and him. And I'll be like, he'll be up there too. And I'll be like, wait, what are you doing here? And that just shows his desire to learn, and he's trying to play, man. And I got mad respect for his game. I can already tell, man, kid's super athletic, man, strong and fast, and understands football. And he's a linebacker. He's a real linebacker. And so I'm excited to watch him, man. I'm excited to see him this fall camp, man. And I know he's going to handle his business.
He's a young you, Mike. He's a young you.
Oh, fashion. Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't you kind of take back on some of the things that you've done. I mean, let's not act like you didn't have a pick six at Clemson, pick in the playoffs.
True. When I refer to you, I talk about freshman me. Third year Mike was the veteran. He was locked in. He was yeah, he was ready. He was that guy. But freshman Mike, out of high school Mike.
Freshman Mike was worried about them Twitter followers, huh? Like me.
That's what it was. He was worried about the followers and what was happening after the game, what was happening Thursday.
I want pizza, bro. Thin crust, Domino's. Shout out Domino's. This is not a paid advertisement for Domino's. I lied. One more. I'll leave it here, but I'll ask this question. Ty Boudreaux says, "Iron sharpens iron." Mike. The funny thing is when you go up against somebody for so long, like you do in spring, you do in summer, and then you do in fall camp, for me on the defensive line, like, hey, buddy, you're showing your hand here.
Yeah.
You're showing your hand. I know what you're doing. You got to change this up. And then they will give me feedback. Blake, you lean a little bit too far back sometimes when it's on a pass set. Yeah. How much of that communication do you guys have? And because you just have so much access to one another.
Yeah. Man, especially like being like a linebacker, you have that communication so much. And I love like watching other guys do that too, man. Like watching the D line go against each other and like, they're telling each other what they do and what they do. Me and like being the Mike, I would say mine is more of the sense of like just watching plays develop and understanding football. I get to see, the guys on the offense, and I'm like just trying to think and pick up on all the little things. And I know they're doing the same thing too. And I'll talk with some of the quarterbacks and be like, you knew I was doing that? And they'll be like, yep. And I'll be like, I knew you were doing this though.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, I really believe in that statement, man. And it's like just fun, like just getting to compete with the guys over and over and over, and you're just picking up on little things. And as you pick up, you're like, I got them. Next time I see this, I know what's happening. And they'll know that you know what's happening. And so they'll change it,
It's like Martin Lawrence. I know that you knew that I know that you knew. Well, if you can catch Jaden Daniels in the open field, I'm pretty sure you can catch anybody. Bro, my man clocked at 21.5 miles per hour. Christ almighty, that's moving.
He's a fast guy. He is very fast.
You're like, get out there, Greg. Insane.
Bro. Greg, your help's on this side. I'm here with you.
Greg, run. By the way, I saw DeMario Tolan. Mm-hmm. You've talked about a lot about that dude. That's a big kid. Mike, we're big dudes.
I mean, just came into college.
Son, there's no reason that young man has any business being that big as a freshman.
Yeah, man. I know. That's why I'm like, with him and Perkville, I'm like, dang, these dudes, they just brought in some real college-ready dudes. Like, I had to change my whole body up. My mental had to change. Like, I had to grow up. You just came in grown.
I know. When you came in on the show, I was like, oh, I almost told you, chill out, Tom Hardy, with all those traps. You look like Bane right now. Jesus. I mean, chill out there, Bane. Anyway. All right, Mike. I kept you a little long, but you've been fantastic, man. Thank you so much. Stay hydrated and all that good stuff. We'll see you soon, brother. Thank you.
For sure, man. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Mike Jones Jr., LSU starting middle linebacker that joined us. Always fantastic. Always fantastic. Good to hear about the freshmen, though. We do have a bot, though, Zach, or in the YouTube chat. I hope we're monitoring that. But yes. Aunt Marshall said Jacobian told the Golden Boot podcast that he has been eating much better this offseason. That he is. And y'all need to go listen to that interview on the Golden Boot pod. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Gino Vegas sends us some stars via Facebook. Yeah, guys, the super chats are open. Super chats are open. Couple more, then we'll take a break, and then we'll end it here. Hashtag normal or normal guy says hashtag ask Blake Jaylen Brown side eye emojis. Don't come to me. Don't come to me. Don't come to me if this offensive lineman or that defensive lineman or that 5-star wide receiver starts getting crystal balled to LSU. Don't come up in this chat doing that. Don't do it. Because now all of a sudden, Zach, let's get to break, but you best hope somebody didn't get effing crystal balled and now everybody's freaking out right now. You bet, you guys, I'm telling you, I'll go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Talk about good friends over at Gramco and a good friend Carol Foss over at State Farm. Be back in a minute and a half. Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegramco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegramco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. Gramco is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegramco.com. Use that promo code AYS25. Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Foss and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with a great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Foss has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirements. Jeff says Mike Jones needs that number 18. I agree. Blake Schilling says Dante Moore was just crystal ball to LSU. Guys, I don't have a 247 account. Y'all going to have to tell me. And we're doing this show. And then somebody DM me about Zalance Herd, the 5-star tackle, 4-star tackle, whatever he is, out of Neville. Look, man, like I told you, before this even happened, before we came on the show and these things started hitting the comments, I told you that LSU is going to build their team from the inside out, and all of a sudden somebody got crystal balled? So you mean to tell me 57 minutes ago when we said that BK is building from the inside out, then somebody got crystal balled? Interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Brandon Reese says, why y'all stack up all these QBs only for most of them to end up transferring anyway? Well, first off, why stack up all these quarterbacks only for most of them to end up transferring anyway because of depth. Brandon, I mean, how many quarterbacks did we play in 20 and 21? How many? KMC says exactly like, bro, it's June. Just calm down. Exactly. But you know what? If Lance Herd does commit soon, then you know what? You know what's going to happen? No one's going to freak out because he plays the offensive line. They're going to say, oh, well, he's really raw. They're not going to care that Sam Spiegelman gave him the MVP vote from On3 recruiting at LSU football camp when you had multiple 5-stars and the number one quarterback in the country there and the number one player in the country there and the biggest recruit of all time per recruiting rankings at a 1.00 star rating. But Lance Herd got the MVP the week that Arch Manning was there. But Arch Manning's the better recruit, right? So another kid won an MVP on the offensive line of all places. The offensive line of all places, not Arch, not Holstein, not Collins, not Rudy Poos. So Lance Herd did, right? Unreal. I don't understand these recruiting rankings anyway. Chance Babin says these paranoid LSU fans need to get some gummies, some Gramco, and go swimming in this summer and let BK do work. It's June, people. It's June. LGZ said Herd is ranked 16 overall on 3. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Did not know that at all. Look, as we close it out here, I'll just tell you guys, you got to relax. You got to relax. We do have some breaking news here, though, Zachy. Former UTSA wide receiver Gregory Clayton Jr. has announced via social media that he will be transferring to LSU. The 5'10 senior is a former JUCO standout from the state of Louisiana. So there you go. Another receiver added. Senior. Interesting why he would be coming to LSU this late in the game. Kyle says Rashada going to Miami might affect where Jaylen Brown ends up, but LSU sits in a good spot at normal guy. There you go. All right, guys, we will see y'all again tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. Brian Champagne says BK going to have the best line. Just be patient. I can't disagree with him. All right, guys, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.